From sketchbook heroes and sketchbook warriors, we're in for some simple drawings to more more intricate drawings. So we're going to start off simple and let's get started. Let me show you and share what we're going to be drawing tonight. Let's see if I can do this again. Alrighty, here we go. Starting off simple. There we go. So we're going to be drawing. We're going to get to that eventually. A profile, well, and the eyes. But we're going to draw this. There, it's actually pretty simple. But what's really hard about this one is going to be the hair. It's going to be a challenge. But we break it down. We'll break it down. We're going to start off with the owl. We're going to start off with this owl tonight, and then the cat. And I had another cat, but no chance to put it up. And then we're going to be doing the face stuff, the eyes and stuff. So let's start off with the owl. Here's the owl. I think I can. Let's see if we can screenshot it and put it in the chat. Hopefully I can do that. Let's go to the chat. Oh, there's the chat. Screenshot it. And I don't have my mouse, so we're doing the best we can, like you should always do. Screenshot, file, screenshot. Yes, it's working. But I can't screenshot my, and they are on the meetup, so you can do it there. I did that. Now what? Screenshot. Oh, there it is. Capture. There it is. All right, here we go. Now upload to everyone. Somebody did something here, and oh, somebody did it for me. Thank you. You beat me to it. All right, let's get started. Stop sharing. That's awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it. All right, here we go. All right. So, I didn't break it down. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. I should break it down. Back to share. There we go. Thank you for doing that. All right, let's break this down. All right, we're going to annotate this. What we look at, if you're totally new here, we look at what we call wrap to draw. So we look for ratios, angles, proportions, and of course you can draw it your own way. You got to, just practice your own way and find your own way. Let's see, we're going to annotate this. There's my annotation tools. What I look for is the height and the width. Okay, you can definitely tell it's taller than it is wider. Control Z. Yeah, there we go. It is taller than it is wider. There's my shapes. Colors. There we go, shapes. Let's use circle. And I press down my shift, and that gives me an exact circle. Look at that right there. Bam. That's a perfect circle. So it looks like there's an oval on top of the circle, or overlapping. There it is right there. Look at that. So I see the circle, and the circle has the same height, same width, which is awesome, and which means you can draw it any size and it'll be accurate if you make it the same height and same width. Here we have one circle. Let's move this over. There we go. Right about there. You can see how these are going to overlap. I'm going to copy and paste that one. Copy, paste. And you can see these are the shapes you should be looking for accuracy, right? For accuracy. Now, if we take that circle and compare it to the big circle, it's a little bit bigger than halfway. If you cut that big circle in half, it's going to be a little bit bigger than half. We're trying to see relationships. That's the biggest thing when you're learning to draw. See the relationships. How does these shapes relate to each other? How can we simplify? How can we relate? All right, I see that. So let's just get started. I don't know if I'm gonna. That's good enough. Let's just do it. Just do it. All right, here. Let's go. All right. I've got a different pad today too. Got this one with a grid on it. All right. So, all right. I start off with my circle, and I'm using a pen. There we go. And I'm sketching. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know how it's going to fit on your paper. You should kind of see how it's going to fit on your paper, more or less. There's my circle, and then on top of that, we have two circles that kind of fit in there. One, they were overlapping. Two. Well, yeah, we shoot for accuracy, but don't worry too much. It's not about perfection; it's about practice. And I'm not looking at I can see the drawings I'm doing, but I didn't do the. All right, right, there we go. And notice how I'm sketchy. It's really sketchy, and that's what it is. It's a sketch. We're going to turn this sketch into a drawing. Right? We can fix it, add stuff. And then we've got, let's see, where are we going to go from here? And now there's our kind of our owl. From here, let's go ahead and okay, we'll do this. We're going to go ahead and do the kind of eyebrows. The eyebrows come in and cut in on these circles. These circles do overlap a little bit. They do overlap. I'm not being precise. Let me be a little more precise. Right there, you can see the overlapping, like a Venn diagram. One of my favorite diagrams, Venn diagram. Right, so you can see how it crosses over. We're going to take that. We're going to cut into that as well. We're going to cut it into that circle. Notice where I'm starting. See, this is 12 o'clock. This is 9 o'clock over here. Right in here around 11. 10, yeah, 11, around 11. We're going to come in. We're going to bring it down to a point. Right there. That's one side. And then we're going to do the other side. Go up and try to get it to be symmetrical. Same on both sides. I have a lot of squares here. That kind of helps me. I don't know. I can probably even shoot for more accuracy. This can be my center line. See, this goes on to axis. If you have an axis line, I'm going to draw an axis line because that helps a lot. That's one of the challenges, is drawing things symmetrically. You can, if you need to, you use your pen or whatever you're using, another piece of paper like this, to see how far it goes out. You can measure it, like this circle, for example. And then, you see, I eyeballed it pretty good. This one goes out. Okay, we did this side. So from here to here, just right there, to right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So right there, see, 5 squares. That looks pretty good to this line. Very symmetrical. So it's good to have these grids. Good to have. We have this letter V here. There we go. All right, how does that look? Good. All right, here we go. Now from here, we're going to add the little 2 things that go up and out. It's yeah, like little triangles. They go up and out, like the letter M. Right here. There we go. Now what we're going to do is, with this shape, it actually is a tapered tail. We're calling this a tapered tail. So as we have this drawing, this line here, this top line is going to go in, and as it comes in, it tapers down and gets smaller as it comes down here. As it comes down, it gets smaller to a point. There we go. So we got one eyebrow in. Bam, right in there. Kind of like that. So one eyebrow. Not too hard. It's seeing the relationships, having a little sketch. And this becomes a drawing where if I make my lines a little more solid, a little more erased and clean. But really, it's more about sketching. Because if we worry too much about perfection, you can get caught up and get paralyzed, paralyzed by perfection, trying to make it perfect. I think, yeah, and this is off too, so that's not a big deal. I think I can pull this in a little bit more. You can always refine. Up to you. Your mileage will vary. So then I can go up here and then get this side now. We're going to go up here. That way I can see it goes up to this square up here. If you don't have the squares, probably don't. That's okay. But you can draw, or you can visually see across like this. Like here, I can see that it's going to be this high up here. And again, I can, even though I don't have squares, you can get your paper and see it goes, okay, it goes from here to there, that tip to that tip. So there to there. Pretty good right there. That's close enough. You see it tapers, it goes thin to thick. Then from here, there's a little bit of a curve on this M. See that little bit of a curve? It's a triangle shape, but there's a little bit of curve, makes it a little more complex. So this is there we go. Another little M, looks like an M. Then we got the eyebrows down. You can thicken up the lines because the lines are pretty thick actually. The quality of line. All right, there we go. Let's round the top. Round the top, round the outside. How many people we got? Welcome, welcome. Feel through. Oh, we got 37. Awesome, awesome. Welcome. All right. I don't know if I spotlight myself. I should spotlight myself just to make sure everybody's seeing me. Spotlight for everybody. There we go. All right. And I can see it better too on my screen. All right, we're almost there. All right, what's next? Okay. Oh, let's do the beak. The beak goes right under this, and it's also triangle shape. Right. So we're gonna go here, and the beak should kind of come out under those two circles that we had drawn before. Little carrot shape. Now this beak really is just a circle with a triangle. Circle and a triangle together. So it comes down to a point. If you see that circle, that really helps. Just like pulling a point down from the circle. You got to see how these shapes are constructed. That really helps. There it is. So we got a circle. And yeah, feel free to go at your own pace. Feel free if you go faster than I do. I know I saw some people already starting before I did. That's great. You can draw more than one owl. You can draw a family of owls. Challenge yourself. There's shading. I'm not going to worry about the shading. And there's other stuff. All right. Let's see. Let's do the outside of the eyes. Let's do the outside. So here we go. We're going to go from here where that beak is. Right in here, right? That beak. And then just go around the outside. I think it looks pretty good. Right in there. And it does kind of have the shape of Wally's glasses. Kind of looks like that a little bit. Oh, here he goes. I can thicken it up. If I had a marker, I can go in there and thicken it up later. And that kind of helps too. If it's off, you can. And all my little scratch marks look like shading. See all that? It looks like shading now. And I don't erase. And I'm using a pen. There we go. Let's do the other side. I see the bottom. It touches here. Then it comes up and around. I can shoot for accuracy, fix things as I'm sketching it in, thickening up that line. If you have a marker, it will probably help. You got to use your tools. There's pros and cons to every tool. Got to. What's more important than the tool is getting to know a tool. It's time with the tool. It's time in the market, not timing the market. Here we go. All right, we got the outsides. Got the outside. We got the shape of the head in there. Now we got the now just like the regular eyes, they go under the eyelids, but here they're going to go under the eyebrows. So here we're going to go do this part. I'm just going to come in. I'm seeing where it starts, and that's good. And it's just going to go echo, or parallel with the outside. Then it's going to go up and right above the right where the top of the beak. So that looks good. I can see it. I can imagine it. I can use my imagination and see it there first, and then draw it in. Okay, that's going to be good. So then I can go in there and do it. Yeah, we're really entering the age of imagination. I really believe that, and I think I know some people are scared of technology that's coming, but I really believe it will help. I really believe in dream, design, do. As you dream it, in your sketchbook, I have this idea, dream it. And design and technology will help make your dreams a reality. I really believe that. I really believe it will help. I mean, look at how far we've come with Zoom and being able to be together. All how many of us? All 39 of us in one space and time. All right. Yeah. The Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. We are living in interesting times. All right, here we go. Let's see. We do have hangouts where if you want to hang out and just draw. And I think I'd like to turn this more into a hangout. We'll do like the beginning drawing stuff and then do it like a hangout at the end. But I'm in Sedona right now, so it's not like it's going to be that easy to do other work. But it's all good. All right, we got our eyes in. This one looks smaller here, but it's okay. I can see it. And then now the pupils go in the center. The pupils go in the center. This is going to be the pupil. I'm going to have the pupil right in there. Lightly sketch it in. And then another pupil over here in the center, lightly sketch it in, about that size. You're looking at how thick things are. I mean, the width here. I look at this space here as well. You know, some pupils might be, we'll be drawing eyes tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about eyes. Again, if you're ahead of me, that's great. Draw more than one owl. Draw a family of owls. Draw a nest of owls. All right, here we go. We're going to do the highlight now. Okay, so these are the pupils, and the highlight is because the eye is shiny. We're going to, in this corner, in this top right at 1 o'clock, we're going to have one shiny and one shiny highlight right in there. And then under that, because overlapping creates space, underneath that is the dark part of the pupil. Then the outside is the iris. So this is the dark part, and you can shade that in black, like that. And then the other part we can shade in, just shade, a little bit of shade. I'm shading it with a pen, shading with a pen. There it is. There's one eye down. And another, maybe I'll share some pictures. That's some good pictures, Sedona. And somebody suggested to go to Jerome. We made it to Jerome. That was nice. Thank you for that suggestion. I think it was Jen on Sunday at our hangout. There we go. I'm making, actually, I'm making this a little bit thicker, making the outline of that pupil or the iris a little bit thicker. There we go. That looks good. Ooh, that looks really good. So, all right, all we need is the body, and that's it. I think I'll start with the feet. I can sketch stuff in, even lightly, seeing the big shapes first. See, like the toes, these toes, there's a lot of things happening there, but I can represent that area with a circle. And the talons that are going to go there, their talons, are in there. I think there's 3. But I can say, okay, that's where one foot is going to be in this other foot. And then I'm going to, I think the wings, it's kind of like a circle shape. I see this circle shape, and it goes underneath maybe the eye a little bit. It's circle shape. And that wing kind of just attaches itself. It kind of comes down and around. And again, it tapers. See, and I get this little bit of rounded part because of that circle there. That circle shape helps me see the shape. It looks like a chili. Red hot chili pepper. Red hot chilies. Red hot chili peppers. The band. And I think there's some detail. I don't see that detail. See, get the thickness of line. You can always go back and fix the thickness afterwards. I'm just doing it to do it. Looking in detail. I usually wait for the detail to go last. Let's do that same thing on the other side. There's like a little bit of a circle there. Circle shape that goes underneath. It gives you that rounded shape. And then it attaches itself to the body. That wing. And a prayer. Yep. It's about practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more you progress. That's why we're here every week now on Sundays at 11 o'clock in the morning. It gets me to go too. Sometimes we need that commitment. We need that a little bit of push, because doing work sometimes is work. It's like your brain's lazy. Your brain wants to conserve energy. All right, I'm putting the branch in. I'm trying to get it to fit under the talons, or see it right underneath. And what's important here is to try to imagine underneath as it goes, and making sure it's straight underneath. And then there's a branch that branches up. And then there's one that branches down. Let's see, go up to thin. Easy. The first line is easy. And then the next one, the second one, you have to look at the first line and try to get a shape where it tapers as it goes up. It gets smaller. Then we get the bottom one. Does it go down or straight? Yeah, it's pretty straight. However, you can do it any way you'd like. Whatever makes you happy. You got to find that. You got to find what makes you happy. Because it's different for everybody. It's different. Yep, yep, yep. There we go. All right. That looks good. Now let's get those talons and we're done. All right, Demi, welcome back. Oh my gosh. I know. I've been on that journey too. Actually, we were probably on that journey together. Same. All right, so these talons are oval shapes. So we'll simplify it. We'll just make them oval shapes. There's an oval shape there. Practice, it's good practice. See, practice drawing ovals, a good warm up. Practice drawing shapes. Oval would be a good warm up. There's one.
That is so cute.
Thanks. And three. Yeah, I like this one. It's really important to find drawings that you like, that inspire you, that aren't too easy, that aren't too hard, or just, I don't know, at your level. Right? It's cute. The big eyes. Some little bit of shading. And that's where the numbers will help when I do all the warm-ups, because you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm at level 1. I feel comfortable there. And then sometimes it's good to feel comfortable, to find your comfort zone. But then sometimes you got to challenge yourself too. Challenge yourself. Okay, then you go on to a bigger number with our warm-ups as soon as they start coming out, which I don't think is going to be soon. This is tax season, duck season, owl season. I'm going to do the center oval here. Try to get it to be about the same, and then do the other two. 1, 2. All right, all right. We're at 45. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. We're halfway there. And if you feel free to shade, feel free now. We're close to the end. We just need the little tail feathers. There's some tail feathers. There's 3 tail feathers, and they're overlapping. They're overlapping. They're in this area. I can sketch the area. I can just say, okay, they're going to be in this area. I can start breaking it down. I can see the big shapes like that. And then I can start breaking it down. There's one small tail that's in the front, and that's kind of like an oval. And then there's one in the middle. It's a little off center, a little bit bigger. And then you have the one that's way in the back. It's right about there. See, I'm breaking it into thirds. But I kind of see the height and width. So you started with big shapes, papa shapes, and then breaking it down to smaller shapes, and then detail. Detail goes last. That's a good process. It's about process, not perfection. Understanding the process, and then just practice. Practice the process, seeing the big shapes. And there's sometimes, there's exceptions to the rule, but without practice, you're not going to make it. All right, so we're going to start with this big feather first. This one is, and it comes to a point, so the kind of ovals kind of help get us there, but it does come to a point, and then just bring it in right there, and it's behind this tail feather. Shake your tail feather. There it is, and there it is. That one. A little bit of underlapping. Kind of looks like a backwards J, upside down 7. Here we go. And then the last feather right in here, coming down to a point. And that's how they drew it. We're just copying. We're observing. It's a good thing. Learn to observe. Learn to see the world around you. How is it constructed? How is it put together? Those are good questions. How is it made? One of my favorite TV shows. All right, now some of the detail. There's some detail here on these tail feathers. There's like a center. They look like leaf details, and then it goes out. There's a center line, and then it kind of comes out, 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 out. Upside down V. Same thing on this one. Little details on the tail. Details go last. Try to see the big stuff first. I used to really focus on details when I started drawing, and you can get lost in the details, which is great. But your drawings sometimes they don't come out accurate. I'm putting a little bit of shadow underneath. It's a little more advanced, just cross hatching, or hatching actually. And then I think there's some detail on, yeah, there's a lot of detail on the, oops, I just downloaded it. On the, oh yeah, there's a lot of little triangles. Oh yeah, and then on the, I'm seeing other detail now too. On the body, like triangle shapes, just really lightly. Just little triangle shapes, little feathers going on there. It's a little bit of shading. Go around and shade stuff if you'd like. This is a sketch. These eyebrows are a little bit darker. Go in here and shade. Good practice. Good practice. All right, we're done with this one. Done with the first drawing. Ooh, now it's going to get harder. The next one, the cat. Do the cat now. All right, bring up the cat. Ooh, I think those. Oh, I think the eyes look bigger. Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe you can make them bigger. Bigger. They look better. A little bigger. But now I already did that dark. Is there overlapping? Yeah. Just a little bigger. Yeah. Too late. I think I'm messing it up now. Not about perfection, but I try to sometimes shoot for accuracy. See, okay, the eyes should have probably been. That's probably a good size right there. Too dark now. Shade. I'm gonna soften that up. Because that iris. There we go. Good, good. All right, let's go to the next drawing. All right, the cat. The cat's a little more challenging. I had another bird. I had another cat. Let's do the cat. Let's go to the cat. Maybe I'll have somebody else. Oh, we have something in the chat. Oh, if you want to share your drawings, feel free to share your drawings as well. Probably stop it after that. This cat. Here we go. Ooh, this cat's a little more challenging. Definitely have to break down this cat. Have to break down this cat. What's in the chat though? Oh, okay. Somebody, Jen. No, there's Jen's in the house. Oh, she did the cat. She beat me. That's awesome. All right. I don't have my mouse, so I'm going to try to break this down without my mouse, and then we'll try to. Okay, so this cat is uploaded to the chat. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. And then here we go. All right. Teamwork makes the dream work. And then let me annotate. Where's my annotation tools? See if I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's try to zoom in. I don't know. They changed these settings. Oh, that's good right there. Yeah, they changed the settings on the meetup where I can't really zoom in as good as I used to. All right, let's see. Okay, ooh, this one's gonna be challenging. I'm gonna use circles. We'll start off with circles again. These aren't circles though, but this circles will get me the ratios. Right, we're gonna start off with circles again. Let's see the body right there. Oh, there's that one. This is really close. Right in there, that one. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. It looks like the head, the whole the cat is going to be about a little bit less than 3. I'm eyeballing it. A little bit less than 3 circles high. Again, we use circles to get the height and the width. There's it. Copy that. Paste it. It's going to be less than 3. More than 2. Oof, almost. Actually, I like that right there. Look at that. Wow. And then there's just space in the middle. That would probably be better. See that circle right there, and then it's probably like a half a circle in between. Half a circle in between. Paste it again. How can we get half a circle? Half a circle. Let's see. I can see if it's half a circle. It is half a circle. I can see right here. See that? That's a half a circle. This little mark right there, that's half a circle. Let's bring this up. We're looking at relationships, right? That's the distance between the head and the body of the pelvis, that pelvis area. You got the torso in the middle. So we got 2 circles with half space in between. That's it. That'll help us. All right. All right. So half circle in between. All right. I think we can do that. That's good. Now that's good for that the blocking in. Now the head there's a slight tilt to the head. Tilt to the head. So this tilt is the hard part. Let's see. If we actually break this, see this middle part, this middle line, you can see that the nose is on the left side, and there's also If you get it, great. If you don't, it's okay. You can see that it kind of tilts this way too. The eyes too. This eye here on the right, it's like a 3/4 view. And even this, notice, I want you to notice as we observe, notice that this cheek is bigger as well. This cheek is bigger as well. And if we were to actually draw the center of the cat, it would kind of curve like this because it's three-dimensional right there, right? So it's kind of like this football shape, and that's there. All right, cool. I'm just breaking it down a little bit. And then the angle of these eyes, notice these angles, there's a slight angle there. A little more advanced stuff. We started off easy. You can see we're getting a little more difficult. Taking on this challenge now. All right, let's do this. Okay. Oh, yeah. I don't think we have to copy and paste it. Let's just do it. All right, here we go. I can remember. On your marks. All right, let's do this. We got two circles. We got one circle. The first circle is going to be the hardest. Let's get that sketching. You see, I'm sketching it in. And this takes practice, and it's a good practice. I've got my height, my width, right about there. It's about, can we count the squares? Yeah, square. It's right about there. I'm not even counting. I'm just making a mark here. See the height? And then check the width. That's it right there. See? It's pretty good. Should I move it over so it can be on the lines? I can do that. No, it'll be in between lines. That's fine. Then we're going to take half this circle, half of it. See how I did this? I'm measuring it here. That's one circle. That's one. We're going to need half a circle, so I can fold this in half, so I can get my spacing, because that's one of the things that's hard to get, proportions and spacing. So we need half a circle space right in here. That's my circle width. That's half, and then we need. Oh, we're going to run out of space up here. I already can tell. It's going to be really close. It's going to be really close. It's going to run right to the top. That's okay. I can bring everything down a little bit. Let me see. That's close enough. That's good enough. We'll squeeze it in. So I know it's going to be there. There's my half space, and then we're going to go all the way to the top. I can use guidelines from here to see. I can use my bottom circle. Let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out some more. Or I can bring it down a little bit. And I got to make these decisions, solve this problem. That's why I love drawing. That's why I love projects. Because you have the problem solving, patient problem solving. Try to solve the problem. Now let's move everything down a little bit. I'm going to move everything down a square. I can do that on my paper. See? I'm going to move everything down. I should move it over too while I'm at it. You see, I can make these adjustments. Not a big deal. Okay. Body. I should have. No, it's all right. Then we're bringing it down to square, so there's a square. That should be better. A little bit. Oh, we're moving it over too. Right in there. That's good. I've got my spacing. So we use wrap to draw if you're here, totally brand new. Something I've developed. We look at ratios, which is the height and the width. We've kind of got the height and the width because it's two circles and a half, and the width is one circle. So that's the ratio. And then we've got that's wrap to draw, right? Ratios. We look at ratios, and then we look at angles. This one definitely has some angles we need to take care of. It's all right. And it's not about perfection. That's better. That's it. We're good. We're good. All right, cool. Make sure you have your two circles. They should be about the same. Not perfect. Look at, see, I'm going to scribble them in. And then that half space in the middle. All right. All right, let's take a look. All right, so the body. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's start off here. The torso. The torso is kind of like here in the middle, right in there. And I really like this torso, how it comes. You can see that circle. Oh, there's a little bit of overlapping. I can kind of see that. Then it comes down, and the feet do come below. Whew, we're cutting this really close. Cutting it super close. All right, we're cutting this super close. Yeah, we'll focus on this, and then I'll bring it down. Yeah, cutting it really close. The feet. It's going to be feet down here, kind of coming down like a triangle. And look at, I'm keeping it really sketchy, and this original is very sketchy as well. But we're doing this torso part. See that circle? That kind of helps get that in there, and then this other part, and then it comes down to these feet. And these feet are kind of like oval shapes. They're kind of like oval shapes in here. Two oval shapes. We'll start off with oval shapes. You know, there we go, like that. Okay, that looks good. And then we've got the legs again coming in there, the thickness of those legs. I like that. All right, I can focus on the feet. It's fine. We're going to push this circle down a little bit and out right in there. See how it's just down and out. Kind of looks like a pushing the circle in. Pushing the circle in and bringing it out in there. And it goes underneath the torso. This is the front. And then there's a tail on this side. Tail. Right about there. You can always go back and fix all this up. I'm just kind of really just kind of blocking it all in, seeing where it kind of all goes. It's looking pretty accurate. Just this alone, the spacing is so important. All right, now here, the tough part. Oof. Okay, remember we have our center line and everything's kind of pushed to the left a little bit. So you can see that center line. If you need to draw it lightly, get it in there. But after you do it a while, oh, I didn't even talk about the top half, because everything's on the top half. Let's see. I would probably find the middle of this way too. So I'm breaking the circle at the top into fourths. Can I zoom in on the face? Zoom in on the face and focus. I'm really happy with the body. There's a lot of detail and stuff that needs to go into it. But I really focus on the face, get it out of the way, get it zoomed in so we can really see what we're doing here. Zoom in on the face. That'll help better as well. All right, here we go. All right, so the nose is going to be, we'll start off with the nose. And remember, it kind of goes off here at about a fourth. That's going to be the top of the head. The top of the head. And then it's really, if you can see this form in here as well, this could be the head shape, and then it kind of has cheeks that kind of go out. Kind of has cheeks that kind of go out here as well. Like onto that circle. See, so I have this kind of circle shape. You don't have to draw the circle shape, but if you do, it kind of helps. There's the head, and then there's these cheeks that are kind of attached. One side's a little bit higher, one side's a little bit lower, and then it does overlap. I mean, you can add it over, because it does go over the body, the torso, and then there's a bow on there we're going to have to add. And that's pretty good right there. Going to add one ear, triangular ear right in there. And then we've got the other ear. This other ear is a little bit bigger, and it comes out a little bit lower. I would try to get it a little bit higher up. It's probably about the same, but it does come down lower and does appear a little bit bigger, because this is away from us and this is closer to us. This is kind of facing us. It's a 3/4 view. There we go. Notice this one's smaller, this one's bigger. Notice that relationship. And then we have the nose. Okay, this was our center line. The nose is way up here. I'd say a little bit above that center line that we had on our circle, big circle up here. Should be up here. We'll draw that right off the middle. Actually, could be right off the center line. That's fine. There's a slight angle, but it's a line right here. Let me try to simplify it. It's a line, and it's really small. There's a line at the top, and then it comes into this shape. And I've drawn these noses lots of times. but this is kind of really small. So let me draw it bigger on the side over here so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's this line. And then it's kind of like a triangle shape. It's this triangle shape. So if we see just the shape of it, and if you just draw a triangle, you'll be happy. But there's a little more detail to it. There's a little more, it's a little more complex. Let's take it to the next level. So it kind of does curve a little bit here. It's a little bit rounded. And then on this side, it's a little bit rounded and it comes in. And remember, everything on the right should be a little bit bigger because of perspective. Because things that are closer are bigger, things that are further away are smaller, right? And then it does kind of go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left, like this way. So we're going to need that kind of like almost like the letter T. We're almost creating the letter T. We'll get the nostrils in there. And don't just look at my drawing, but also look at the original and see, hey, he's not doing it exact, and that's okay. And the top is a little bit thicker line. I'll do it like that. Yeah, there we go. So try to get the right side a little bit wider. If you do get it, great. If you don't, it's okay. So here I'm rounding these sides. And plus it's really small detail. I'm here almost doing surgery. It's like I'm doing surgery because it's really small. Get one nostril. This side should be a little bit bigger. And it's not being that accurate. That's okay. But I am on the left side. Notice I'm on the left side where I am with this cat. Now we're going to do one cheek right in there. That one cheek. And then this cheek is going to be bigger because it is off the left side. Notice how this is going to be bigger right in there, automatically bigger. See? So this side's going away from us and this side's closer to us and being bigger. And then it's got like little laugh lines. And then simple eyes. We're going to do these simple eyes. We are going to get more complex with the eyes. We are drawing eyes next. And this is like the upside down rainbow. Upside down, it is a rainbow. Let's say a letter. It looks like the letter N actually, or an upside down U. That's what I was going to say. U. Right in there. Notice how it relates to the nose, right next to the nose, right next to that part. And then this eye. And it's actually thinner on this side, on the inside, and then it goes thicker on the outside. And it is bigger on the right. It is bigger on the right. Learn to observe and draw what you see, not what you think you see. And then, yeah, detail. There's a lot of little detail. I'm pretty happy with that face. The face is looking good. Face is looking good. And I'm looking at the original. There's little hairs here and there. And coloring. Coloring is really nice. I'm going to shade the inside of the ear a little bit right in here. There's actually a thickness to that ear. And then there's like a little bit of an eyebrow and shading at the top. A little bit of shading, a little bit of grays. Anatomy right in there. Right along this side. On this right side, because it's facing us. This side is closer to us. As it comes down, I'm going to shade it a little bit right in there. And then there's a little bit of shade underneath. That looks pretty good. And then the inside of the ear, this right ear, get that thickness, a little bit darker as it comes in here. Yes, and I am using a ballpoint pen. So it's good to draw and start with a ballpoint pen, actually. There's the cat head. Let's do the whiskers. We're here already. See where one whisker. Oh, let's do the dots first. There's like 4 or 5 dots in here. Bump. The dots detail. This one has like 5, 6 dots. There's one in the middle, and there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6. Like that. That looks good. And then we've got the whiskers. Starts here, right in there. And it comes out. Whoops. Probably not the good angle. Speaking of angles, 2 and then 3. There we go. And then 3 again on this side. Really close together. The 3 starting points are really close together. Out, 2, and then 3. I didn't break that down too well, but do the best you can. All right, let's get that bow in there. And everything else is just detail. So I'm going to move this up. That bow, the bow definitely has that knot right in there, which is kind of like an oval shape. And then we got 2 triangle shapes with curves like in here like this. I can sketch it in lightly, sketch it in light till it's right. Then go dark. All right, so I sketch it in lightly. I'm happy with that. There's little curves, even though it's a triangle. There's slight like this curve here. See, it curves that way, and then this one curves this way. So it curves out, gives it a little bit of form, and then this one curves this way. Then you've got put one little line right in there as it is bending. Again, curve this way, curve that way. Doing some really cute drawings tonight. And then this one also has a little bit of a, maybe one little line. Now, it does go around, so I'm putting these little triangle shapes right in there. This is still part of the bow or ribbon that goes around the neck. A proud cat. You gotta be proud of your work. You gotta be proud that you showed up. Showing up is half the battle. And then it's just practice, practice, practice. All right, I like that. I'm gonna just shade it in real quick, just because I'm there and I can do it. So I'm hatching really fast. There it is. All right, now it's just the detail on the body. I like the face, I like the hand. Let me zoom in real quick for a second so you can get a closer look. See that? See the bow. Now we're gonna do the body, the nose, and then the body. Let's do the body. Everybody, body. Zoom out a little. There we go. That bottom part. All right. So with his body, there's several things going on with it. Let's hang in there. It does kind of have a little bit more pull on this side than this side. It's not totally symmetrical. There's a little bit push on this side because it is facing that way. A little bit of more of a pull push. And there's because he is soft, furry. There's a lot of lines. I kind of made one thick one. And then here. Some of the anatomy of this foot here. What's happening, it does go thick, thin, and then it goes thick. Well, it's going thick, it tapers, and then it goes thin, and then it comes back thick out again. It thickens out as it comes out. So right here is the thin part. Right in there is that thin part. And then it thickens out again. And then here, these toes, they're facing left. So if you do this is really important right in there, left, and then this side kind of has a little bit of a left tilt to it right in there. And then this should be kind of straight because this is the back of the almost even flat of that foot. Sometimes there's a third toe right in there. That looks good. Same here. Bring this out. These toes, just almost like little oval shapes. This oval shape looks like an egg shape right in there, that little egg shape. And then notice how the angle of it, that angle of that egg, and then that toe right in there. It's just attached. There's 3. And then here we go with that arm. Right in there. Good. Shade. Shade that in a little bit. Then here, give it that hourglass or pear shape. Try to see that pear shaped body as it comes in and then back out. Notice how the width is down here. This is the widest part down here now. From the circle, kind of like almost squeeze that circle down. Use your imagination. Squeeze that circle down. You got that the bottom of the cat, lazy cat. sitting on their butts. Here we go. Then the tail, I would probably, I don't know, I like it maybe a little bit softer, a little bit fuller than what they have there. Maybe it comes to a point. You can feel free to do it any way you'd like. You're the artist. I'm giving you the artist license. You have an artist license, creative license, a license to chill if you need to, a license to draw. All right, just shade it. I'm adding all the shading. It makes it look. It is behind, so I'm pushing it, almost pushing it back. I feel like I push it back in this area because it's in shadow and shading. It pops the legs forward a little bit. There we go. There's our cat. Bratty cat. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right. All right. All right. Let's share a couple pictures. Do you want to share your drawings? Feel free to share your drawings. We're going to go off. We're going to draw eyes now. It's going to be 7. Unfortunately, I have an appointment at 7. All right, cool. Thanks for joining us. And there's, oh yeah, we're gonna draw the boy. Oh gosh, thank you, Jen. Oh man. Well, we do record this, and if you go to if you go to the meetup, the website's there, or you can ask for it. This is in Sedona. This was today. Yeah. Well, that's a painting. They have a lot of artwork out here, Sedona. Beautiful out here. That's another picture. Oh, this is definitely, if you come out here, you got to do the Devil's Bridge. That was insane. It was snowing a little bit up here, out here. It's pretty wild. A beautiful, beautiful day. And there I am. There I am. Yeah, beautiful. That's yeah, a lot of other pictures. So, all right, Jerome. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we'll stop. Let's see.